Well, it's really no secret at this point that I am over this snow. I have had enough, friends. This is ridiculous. It just keeps happening, winter, and I'm over it. If I haven't said that yet, I'm over it. So it just makes everything more difficult, every day, and it never lets up. So I've got something that I bought, which I'm hoping is going to make at least one task easier. And we're going to take a look at that right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rusty Oliver Man. And the snow, it's everywhere. It haunts my dreams. I mean, I don't know. It's just making everything miserable. And it's getting now to the point where, it freezes and thaws a little bit. It thaws a little bit during the day and then refreezes at night, and it makes stuff really slick. And I don't know. And it's piled up everywhere. So that's going to be here for months. But I bought something to hopefully make my watering situation a little bit easier. And that is right here. Red Dragon! Red Dragon! I got to thinking every day while I was chiseling ice so that cattle can get to the water that's in the ground. I have a tile like in the ground, you see, and it's naturally full of water. But you chisel a little bit every day, and then the next day, just like health class, it comes back thicker and darker. But the ice, it seems to get harder and harder to destroy. And so I've seen these things before. It's actually made for like burning weeds, but I'm wondering if we can use it to melt an ice hole. Well, Buddy the dog, what are you doing? Huh? Are you freezing your ice hole? No, it's okay. You're wet. I don't know where you've been. Well, anywhere, because everywhere is wet. But yeah. So I figure we might as well, I'll probably take this down in the basement to assemble this. I don't really know what we're going to get into, friends. It does say assembled in the USA. Notice how it doesn't say made in the USA. But I figure that there will be, it's just a piece of pipe basically with an orifice in the end, and then this air inducer thing. And then we've got threads in there. And then this should be like the valve goes on the torch end, and then this end goes to the tank and everything we need. And I've got a new tank that I've had for other stuff, so we got all that. We just need to put some thread stuff on it. It even comes with some thread sealer, so ain't that dandy. And it comes with the hose, and that's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to assemble this, and then we're going to give this a try and see if this will in fact do what I would like it to do. Because if it saves me, any amount of effort or time, it's going to be a win. Even if I have to carry this tank and all this stuff down there, I think it's still going to be easier if it works, because you can just stand there and melt as much as you want. So that's my goal. We'll see what happens in reality, but hey, sure. All right. I don't know that there's any point in you watching me put this together, but our table's pretty full, so that's going to be a struggle bus maybe, but it should be pretty simple, Brett. It should be pretty simple. Let's make it more difficult than it has to be. They sent along a tiny pill full of gas-rated pipe compound. find the appropriate wrench. 11/16? Sure. This is actually kind of hard to hold. We don't want to break that valve. That's our only way of adjusting. Sure. All right. That one's probably 9/16, I would guess. Just because, why not? Oh, it's getting more awkward to handle, sure. One more connection and we'll be good. We got to make the connection from this adapter to your propane tank. And then that'll be it. Oh, that's actually going to be quite difficult to make that connection. Why, you say? Well, because I just discovered that it turns inside itself. So, oh, that's even more thrilling. We're getting this all over everything. We'll get it, friends. We'll get it. We just need, now we need to find one. Is that size too? Okay. We can make this work, I promise. That's not that size. There we go. All right, it's just that simple. We will go out and get our propane tank and head down to our test location and we'll figure it out. We don't understand all of these warnings, so we'll figure that out. I like that it came with its own striker, so I don't have to hunt up anything. There was actually, I looked at 3 different brands and I probably would have bought one of the others, to be honest, if I had been in that town where the store was. Because the Hobo Freight version of this, the Hobo Freight version is $40. The Mr. Heater version is like $65 to $70. And this one cost me $100. The Red Dragon. So, but that's just, I bought it because, again, supporting a local store, you're gonna pay a little more, but also they had it on hand and I didn't have to drive anywhere. I could just get it on my way. So I just went ahead and did it, because if I waited till I would have an excuse to go to town to get it from one of the other places, it would be May before I find the time. Yep, we got all that. I'd say it's pretty well idiot proof. Ooh, they make a they make a backpack for the propane tank. That's really what I want to do, is carry the exploding flammable gas on my back. Read all instructions. Save these instructions. Yeah, there's really nothing different from this about any other type of propane or gas-fired torch of any kind, so good deal. Buddy the dog, what are you doing, pal? Playing in the snow? It's 19 degrees. It's his temperature. He likes it. I, however, don't likes it. But we're gonna go down here to our work area. I'm gonna grab the tank. The only bad part about this idea is lugging this thing around, but like I said, I think it will be less tiring in the long run if this works to carry a tank back and forth than if I had to sit there swinging an axe and a sledgehammer. Or the last few times that I've done it, I used a fence post and a sledgehammer because I couldn't get through the layer. It's getting too thick. So we're gonna try this route. Oh. See, now it's another bad thing is we've drove over so much of this and made it uneven that when it refreezes overnight, it makes it real treacherous to walk. There's just so much unevenness everywhere. Yeah, they've given up on this one because it keeps freezing. Alright. With any luck, we're gonna cut the earth a new ice hole. I think these are left-handed threads, aren't they? Be sure to check out the follow-up story. Man blows self up with propane tank. That's sure to be playing in the next few days. Let's... Alright. Well, it just comes right out there, don't it? There we go. Boy, you can't really see the flame. Look at that though. Oh, this might actually work. It's doing something though I didn't foresee, which is since it's melting everything up top, it's running down into the hole, and now the hole is full of water, but we're not really through the ice. So I don't know about that. I don't know if I can get the ice hot enough to actually melt through. I should have brought my hammer, because at the very least I could probably bust it through easier. I don't think I can get the water to boil. I don't know. If I did, maybe that would help. That's cool though. optical illusion. It's not really melted through. And the reason is because I chiseled that other hole in there the other day, and it's letting the water pool on top of it, which is causing it to cool off. Just shut her down. Oh, friends, that did not work how I guess I envisioned that it would work, but it makes sense why it did what it did. What I did not factor into that equation was, since it's in such a way that the stuff you melt can't get away, it keeps cooling it. And then you can't, like, I can't punch a hole all the way through unless I get rid of the water that was there. I do have one hole all the way through because in that spot I chiseled in the other day. So technically right now they can get all the water they want till that hole freezes up again. Another thing I could have done probably to make this go better was do it tomorrow when it's going to be finally above freezing for a little bit. Being 19 degrees, I'm probably not making a lot of progress, even though in theory the water underneath should be like 50 degrees because that's what ground temperature usually is. But it's fine. I mean, they got other water out here too, but this one's just nice because it's natural, you know. You don't have to haul water. It just happens. But when it's froze solid, that's an issue. And I'm thinking that maybe once this finally thaws out for real, it is kind of bubbling, isn't it? So maybe the residual heat will keep melting the ice for a little bit. But I'm wondering if, like, the very first time, next time that it would freeze, after it's melted once, it has to be totally free of ice. But the first busting of the ice, if I would use that thing and melt it off, I wonder if it would work better every time after that. Because the big issue, it seems like, and maybe I'm wrong, people up north deal with this more than me, but it just seems like when you bust a layer of ice and then you have like ice cubes in there, the next time it freezes, it just keeps getting thicker and thicker and thicker. I would guess because you have chunks of already made ice, and then all the water has to do around it is freeze around all the pieces, and then it makes it just keeps getting more. And that's what has happened here through no fault of my own. But I mean, as long as there's an open hole to the rest of the water, like there is, then water can keep coming up and it'll keep that going. So, and they're not mad for thirst anyway. They're up there laying down, hanging out, so they got everything they need. Technically, they can eat snow too, so, you know, it's never like they're out of water, which I don't think people understand, because if you look out west where they have cattle and they get snowed in for, you know, they airdrop them hay bales with a helicopter and they're getting their water from the snow. So that's just what they got to do in those types of climates. But I try to keep them where they have easy to get to water all the time. And so I don't know what to say, but this rig here, I think it'll work, but it's not everything I envisioned that it would be. You know, I thought it would be magical, and it's just not, because of the water cooling stuff back down as you're going. But like I said, it might sit here now that that water's good and heated up. It might melt some of that up again a little bit, slightly, before it refreezes and then gets harder than ever. But it was it wasn't that much, I guess, to experiment with something. Plus I got one of these now because I've seen other instances when I could use one, you know, like stuck engine, maybe put this on there and let it cook for a while. Maybe you can get her broke loose. So I don't know, it's just another one of those things where it was worth a try. But yes, it works, it melts, but it's not magical. I mean, it can't melt through water, really. So there's that. But anyway, I am over this winter. I want this done, and it's not going to be for a long time. I mean, we're not even close, friends. There's going to be snow out here for another month or two at this rate. So yeah, let's just hope that this is a once every 10 year situation or so. I mean, we haven't had a really bad winter for a good amount of years, and we're getting it this time. So anywho, we're gonna leave this one here. I don't know, I guess recommend buying one if you need one, but don't if you don't. I mean, it will melt ice, but it's not a magical, like I can't use it to cut a hole through a tree with fire. No, it's not like that, but it will melt ice, and from evidence around the edges, it will also burn weeds like it is actually designed to do. That's its original purpose for inventing, is going along your sidewalk cooking the weeds. But anywho, I guess we'll leave this one here. After watching what you just saw, do you feel like your IQ has dropped lower than your credit score? Well, there's no reason that both of us should be miserable, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. That stuff costs you nothing, and it really helps me out. Your banker may not approve, but I know mine will. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.